Finding a rental property that hits all the right marks isn't easy. However, my client here in Columbus, Ohio, recently just closed on a property that does everything right and has pretty much everything that you want in an investment property in this deal. So this deal works both as a long-term rental and as a short-term rental. It positive cash flows immediately, hits the 1% rule, and it has a ton of built-in equity. And on top of that, my client wants to maximize their returns, so they are planning on self-managing the short-term rental, and they will be able to write off a ton of their W-2 income because of that. So in this deal, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the specific property. We're gonna look at the numbers, the purchase price, the renovation number. We're gonna look at the neighborhood. We're gonna look at the rent comps, ARV comps. We're gonna basically do a 360 on this deal so you really understand this deal inside and out. So if you are an investor and you're looking for your next rental or your next spur or your next flip or short-term, mid-term rental for that case, and you want to find deals that financially make sense, you do not want to miss this video. So definitely make sure to tune in.
Guys, let's jump into the case study for 3333 Dresden. So this is the property we're going to be looking at, and we're going to really do a quick analysis of it on the MLS just so you can kind of get to know the property a little bit better. After that, we're going to dive into other things. So really quickly, you can see we have it closed at 210. When we closed it, we actually got a $4,000 seller credit. Because of that, we're actually going to be using 206K because that's actually the real number that we closed at is 206, not 210. This house is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family house. It's 1,160 square feet. And you can see right here, we closed on it last month on the 26th. So again, it was just a few weeks ago. Aside from that, we're going to look at the photos just so you can kind of get a sense of how the property looks. So exterior looks to be in really good shape. What I see so far is the roof looks to be solid. It looks to be newer. Same with the siding. The siding looks to be in pretty good shape. Not anything that you need to replace or do right away, but it looks to be in solid shape overall. On top of that, you have what looks to be a little bit of a garage space right there as well. You have a driveway going inside the house right here. The flooring for the living room looks to be solid. It looks to be newer flooring. You have some newer paint throughout the house as well. It does need some light cosmetics though. I would say, honestly, updating some of the light fixtures, getting rid of this TV mount right here, like getting rid of that, probably doing a little bit of minor drywall patching. Same with the light fixtures. Aside from that, you have stainless steel appliances, so that's solid. You have some backsplash all throughout the kitchen. It does look like there's laminate countertop. So in my opinion, I would honestly redo that with some granite countertop, put in some quartz granite. That would make it look much better. The cabinets could use some updating. I would repaint the cabinets or replace some of the handles, replace some of the doors, like the cabinet doors as well too. And I think you could honestly make this property or the kitchen look much better as well too. So it does need some light cosmetic updates. It does not in any way need the whole kitchen be gutted. Here's the bathroom. Bathroom looks to be in solid shape, as you can tell. You got tile all around the bathroom. The vanity, toilet looks solid. Mirror looks solid. Light fixtures look good. So bathroom looks really good, honestly. Maybe like deep clean it, and that's pretty much it. For the bedrooms, it looks like they painted the original hardwood black. It just looks really ugly. I would rip out all this, put all new LVP to match the LVP from the living room and make it all one type of LVP. I would make it look so much better. So we're gonna need some LVP for the bedrooms, as you can see right here. Just looks super ugly with the black original wood. Just doesn't look good. Then here, the second bathroom here, looks like maybe needs a little bit of recaulking, some regrouting, as you can see right here. Definitely needs some regrouting, recaulking. But other than that, it looks still very solid. Bathroom needs very little work. Kitchen needs some flooring, maybe some drywall patching, but that's pretty much it. Basement looks super clean. Nothing there. You have an AC unit right here as well. That looks solid. And then you have a pergola here in the backyard of the house, which is really good as well. So yeah, house looks super solid, as you can tell. And then aside from that, I pulled up the Google Street View just so you can see how the neighborhood looks. When it comes to locations, one thing I recommend doing is looking at the curb appeal. Look at the nearby houses, so the surrounding neighborhood, people's cars. Are there trash, debris on the streets? How does the vibe of the neighborhood feel? Does it feel safe? So this is the house right here. And as you can see where we're located, it looks to be a solid neighborhood. It looks super residential. Looks like a lot of homeowners live here. Looks like they take care of their lawns. That's kind of what we want to see. Next up, we're looking at the ARV comps right here. So we have this ARV comp. It's a similar 4-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family house, pretty much exact same square footage. And this one sold, again, it's fully renovated, as you can tell right here. Fully renovated, looks to be in really good shape. This one sold for $235,000. We got ours under contract for $206,000. So we are significantly under this property. So there's definitely a good chunk of equity here when I was researching this property. When my client was under contract and we got the appraisal done, we did get the appraisal report back. The appraisal report came back at $227K, as you can see right here. $227K. So what that means is my client, who's under contract at $206K, they basically were able to find this deal right away and have $21,000 worth of built-in equity. Because again, we got it under contract at $206. This one appraised at $227. That's $21,000 worth of built-in equity without any renovations, without needing to do anything at all. Once it's renovated, there's going to be a lot more equity involved as well too. As again, there's an ARV comp that sold for $235. So there's a lot of equity in this deal. You can see right here, even with this comp, the bathroom looks really ugly. Our bathrooms look way better, honestly. In my opinion, I think we could honestly get, once this house is fully renovated, we could probably be closer to like 250, honestly. Just again, based on what I'm seeing so far, maybe 250, maybe 260, just because again, this one's renovated, but again, this one's not that great of a comp. I think ours would look much better if we put a little bit of money into it, of course. So with that being said, this deal, it's a great deal. And on top of that too, we pulled the rent report right here. Our rents are looking at $2,000 a month. So this is a long-term rental. So this is why this is such a good deal. As a long-term rental, this one pretty much hits the 1% rule right away. This one, as a long-term rental, you're looking at $2,000, $2,100 a month as a long-term rental. But if you're looking at it from a short-term rental, it's going to get much better cash flow as well too. But there's multiple exit strategies. It can work as a long-term or short-term rental. The one thing with this deal is that my client is local here in Columbus, Ohio, so she's going to be self-managing it because there's no property management in place to take over this property. What she's going to do is she's going to manage everything, and she'll be able to deduct her W-2 income because of a certain amount of hours that she puts into it. This qualifies as active income, where she can reduce her W-2 income just from having a short-term rental and managing it herself. She could do a cost segregation study, accelerate the depreciation, and it would apply to her W-2 income as well. So with that being said, we're going to look at the buy and hold calculators. We have this property inputted right here. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family house. It's 1,160 square feet. It's $206,000 purchase price. She's putting 20% down. She's using conventional financing. When it comes to closing fees, we typically use 1.5% to 2% for the closing costs. Down payment, it's going to be 20% down, obviously. Closing fees, again, it's 1.5% of the purchase price. And then repairs estimate. So as we talked earlier, we're looking at some LVP flooring. We're looking at maybe some drywall patching, a little bit of paint, updating the kitchen a little bit. It's going to be very light handyman fixes, but no more than $10,000 in renovations. It's still very near turnkey as a house. So all in, she's at $54,209, including the cash to close, plus the repairs as well too. Her interest rate is 6.5%. Interest rates recently have dropped, so she's getting roughly 6.5% for interest rate using a 30-year fixed loan conventional financing. So we're going to look at this as a long-term rental. If we were to look at a short-term rental, it would be much different, but we're just going to look at it from a long-term rental. With this one, she has multiple exit strategies. So if she doesn't like it as a long-term rental, she would go the short-term rental route. If she doesn't like it as a short-term rental, she can go the long-term rental route as well too. But regardless, with this property, she does hit the 1% rule, and she has $21,000 worth of built-in equity, which is phenomenal for any investment deal. We have the mortgage payment right here, which automatically inputs. Property taxes, we're looking at $200 a month. We go to the auditor site, put in 333 Dresden. Go to tax calculator, estimate taxes. And then we're going to use this number right here, divide this by 12, and we're at 292 actually. So it's going to be a little bit more than 200. Then insurance-wise, because this is a little bit more of an expensive house, we're going to use probably $120 a month. And then when it comes to reserves, we always use 855, 8% for PM fees, as you can see, 8% right here. We're going to use 5% for CapEx and maintenance together. And then we're going to use 5% for vacancy as well. The reason why we don't use 10, 10, 10 or 12, 12, 12 for all the numbers because we don't want to be overly conservative. If we're overly conservative, even if a deal was to be over the 1% rule or even hit the 2% rule, we would still be negative cash flowing. As an investor, you should be conservative, but not overly conservative. It's important to be a little bit conservative, but not too much, or else there's never be any deal that makes sense for you. I always use 8% for PM fees, 5% for CapEx and maintenance together, and then 5% for vacancy. And if we look at the returns here, we're looking at NOI monthly of $1,236 after we account for the mortgage. We're looking at net cash flow after everything, after PITI, after reserves like CapEx, maintenance, vacancy, after PM fees, after everything. It's going to be $194 a month, which is really good here in Columbus, Ohio. And don't forget, this one has $21,000 worth of built-in equity right away from the get-go. My client, she is going to be cash flowing $194 a month right from the beginning. She has $21,000 worth of built-in equity. So this is an amazing buy and hold deal for her. And she's going to honestly use this as a short-term rental. So she's going to be able to depreciate a lot of her W-2 income and do a cost segregation study with this property. So that is the deal right there. Let me know if you have any questions. If you are looking for a similar deal, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to help you with that. And if you have any questions or anything comes up, feel free to reach out to me directly and I would love to walk you through this deal or answer any questions that you might have. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Bye.